don't worry. This is a spoiler-free zone.
All right, zip it. Zip. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, exhibit A.
Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all sorts of geeky pop culture things. Today, we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. Again. Because I seem to be talking about Doctor Who for the last 5 videos. I mean, I talk about Doctor Who a lot. It's my main fandom. But I try and pepper it in with other stuff. There's just been a lot of Doctor Who stuff to talk about. Okay, get off my back. Yeah, let's talk about the leaks. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the leaks. I just want to talk about the leaks. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense, does it? What I mean is there's not going to be any description of what the leaks were, or we're not going to show the leaks or anything like that. I'm not going to talk about what the content of the leaks was, just around the whole situation of the leaks happening. I've never been one to massively have a problem with spoilers. Back in my high school years, I used to run a website, not a very popular one, but a website where I used to, similar to this, talk about lots of all my favourite geeky things. And one of the things, my main thing at that point, was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I used to hunt out spoilers from other websites. Let's be honest, I used to plagiarise spoilers from other websites and put them on my site as well. And that was all part of the fun for me at the time. Most of them turned out to be utter rubbish anyway. There you go. And you know what? I kind of sometimes like finding out some things about what's coming up in my favourite shows, but then sometimes I like to be surprised. But I think in this whole situation, there are two separate types of people. There are the people that maybe are quite happy to find out information about what's coming up in the forthcoming season that maybe the production team didn't want them to know. And I can kind of understand their viewpoint. But what I don't understand at all is the people that want to spoil it for other people that have no desire to know it at all. And what I mean by that is when you post something, a picture or whatever, on your Twitter feed, you know people are going to be scrolling up that screen and they're going to see that picture. And they're not going to have a chance to go, oh no, I don't want to see that. It's going to be too late, they will have seen it. And it's that I don't understand. I've skipped a bit ahead here, but if you're not up on what's been going on, basically the TARDIS interior has been leaked. Twice. Now, in terms of these images, the first lot I have seen, the second lot I have not. The first lot, I woke up one morning, I looked at my Twitter feed, scrolling along, see these pictures and go, ooh, TARDIS interior, that's very exciting. And because it was the same day that a Doctor Who magazine was being released, I naively assumed, I guess, that they had come from that issue and therefore they were official releases. In my excited state, I rushed into this room here. I set up my camera, I set up my lights, I recorded a video about it, talking about them. Then I did all this before work, and then I got on the train, and on the train to work, it's an hour-long commute, so I've got some time to kill. I started editing the video that I just recorded. Didn't quite finish it, got to work, did my morning of work, lunchtime came around, quickly finished off the edit, started to export, rechecked Twitter to find out they were not official releases, they were not part of Doctor Who magazine that had been released that day. They were, in fact, accidentally released by the photographer himself on his own website. And of course, there was a whole back and forth of people complaining that other people were putting them on Twitter and things. And then I had a dilemma because I had spent hours at this point recording and editing a video talking about these pictures, analysing the pictures of the new TARDIS interior that we had seen. At this point, there wasn't much of the TARDIS interior you could see in this first batch of pictures. I won't tell you what it was, but there wasn't much to see. But you know, as we like to do, overanalyze everything. So I'd done a video on it and spent some time editing it, and now I had to decide what I was going to do. Do I release that video? And there were 3 options. I could release it as was, I could re-edit it and take out the pictures but keep the me talking about the pictures. for the people that had seen it, I guess, so that I wasn't using anything the BBC didn't want to be seen, but I was talking about the thing that they didn't want to be seen. That was the second option. Or I could just not release it. And I was curious what fandom as a whole, as many fandom as I could reach, would think. So I did a little Twitter poll and put those three options in it. I had pretty much already decided, well, I had already decided before I even put the poll out that I was not going to do option 1. I'd completely ruled that out, but I was just curious to see how many people would go for that option. So I put the poll up, and the results came back, and overwhelmingly, I would say, most people went for don't upload it. In second place was upload it as is, and hardly anybody voted for re-edit it. So that kind of helped me make my decision not to upload it, but it was very frustrating because I spent all this time recording and editing this video, which I now couldn't release. Very frustrating. So that was my frustration with that first batch of leaks. And then lots of other people had seen it when they didn't want to be seen it. I wasn't too fussed that I had seen it. It's, you know, I'm guessing they're not going to reveal this officially until they show the episode and you see it for the first time. The camera will follow the Doctor, follow the companions into the TARDIS, and you'll see it open up and you will see the TARDIS interior, and it will be a big wow moment. And I've only seen one wall of the TARDIS, but I haven't seen the console or anything like that. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to still be surprised and amazed by that. And that's the feeling that the Chris Chibnall wants us to have. And if we look at these leaked images beforehand, then we're going to not get that, and we're not going to have the full impact of the episode. So I absolutely understand the whole argument about people saying, well, you know, people work really hard on this show and you're destroying the impact that they're going to have. There's been a second lot of leaks apparently today as I'm recording this video. I have not seen these. Thankfully they have not appeared on my Twitter. I'm going to avoid them if I can. Because I want that kind of surprise of when we see the TARDIS doors open for the first time in that first episode of Series 11, hopefully. And the kind of awe and the shock, and then I can make my judgments on what I think about it then. I don't need to make them now. Why would I need to make them now? That's fine. Now, from what I can tell, obviously I haven't seen these pictures, so I'm going on kind of hearsay on these latest ones, but people talking about them. These ones, whereas the first lot of pictures that got released, it seemed like just a bit of a cock-up. It seems like the photographer that had taken the pictures and been hired by the BBC taking the pictures had uploaded them to his website, not knowing he shouldn't do, I guess, not realising he shouldn't do, not knowing that the BBC weren't... I don't know what the exact situation was, but it seems like a genuine mistake. Whereas these ones, I think, are apparently taking on a mobile phone, and therefore it seems much more like it's a deliberate leak. Someone has taken these pictures in order to release them. So that's a much more nefarious thing. Cock-ups happen, and, you know, that guy's probably not going to be hired to work on Doctor Who again, that photographer, but it's, you know, these things happen. But somebody who has gone out of their way to take pictures and spoil things for other people by releasing them on Twitter or wherever, that's much more of a serious thing. That's somebody deliberately, you know, presumably it's certainly somebody that has access to the set, so somebody that works for the show, maybe? Why would you do that to your colleagues? I don't know. Or maybe it's somebody that was just visiting the set. Who knows? So I thought, well, I was frustrated that I recorded the whole video and didn't manage to release it. Maybe I'll release it once we've seen the first episode, maybe I'll release it then as a kind of, hey, when I saw these leaked images that we've now all seen the big TARDIS, maybe I'll release it then. I don't know. But I just wanted to talk about the leaks in general. What are your thoughts? What do you think is what do you think is okay in terms of spoilers and leaks and things, what do you think is completely out of line? Is there a middle ground? I'm kind of falling in the sort of anybody that post them on Twitter, because there's no way of people that don't want to see them avoiding them if you post them on Twitter. I think that is completely and utterly out of order, because lots of people don't want to see them, have no desire to see them, and you're effectively shoving it in their face and going, no, here you go, you're going to see it anyway. And I completely understand some of the reaction I've seen today on Twitter of people going, if anybody does this, I'm blocking them. I'm not going to do that, but I completely understand that reaction. And then I suppose you've got the sort of people, the next sort of step down is the people that share them in forums that advertise that they're going to be there, so it's not going to be people just accidentally seeing them when they don't want to. It's going to be people that have gone there to see them. I suppose they're not as bad as the people that post them on Twitter, where people that don't want to see them are going to see them, but they're still reposting them. And then I suppose even below that, you've got the people that just seek them out, that aren't going to share them anywhere at all, but kind of want to see them. What do you think about them? I mean, let me know in the comments. Don't keep it civil, but just let me know in the comments below, generally, what your thoughts are on leaks and things like that. Oh, and another bit of this story that I just remembered. The BBC are apparently trying to subpoena Microsoft to force them to give the information up on, I guess, IP addresses or something, on who leaked that footage from before the trailer happened, of the sonic screwdriver that got leaked. So there's been 3 leaks now on the new series, and Chris Chibnall was doing so well beforehand. Oh well. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that jazz for more Doctor Who and other geeky stuff. I do cover other TV programs and movies and things as well. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.